Page 10, Red River Valley. This piece is in the key of C major, so go do my scale video on C major. It's in 4/4 time. Do you got phrases? We've already talked about phrases. Just lift up. We want a little silence between each phrase, but go ahead and connect all the notes within the phrase. That's okay. Again, for the first two lines, for most of it, it's all melody, both hands, melody. The last measure of the second line, the left hand finally gets a little harmony. You see that chord, the G and the B? It's got a dot. That means staccato. That means short. Just a little wrist action. You're here on the keyboard. Let's pretend this is a key, and I'm here on the key. My fingers are resting on the key. They're not pushing it down. They're just resting it. And so when I do the staccato, I push down, I hinge at the wrist, I push down, and then pop up. It's boom. It's a wrist action thing. So it's here. It makes it short. That's how we do that. But keep it kind of soft, because the melody's in the right hand. That's what we want to hear, and this is just soft. Going on to the third line, then the left hand. Now the left hand's going to get harmony. That's the accompaniment. Keep it soft. We want to hear the melody. See. And then the last line, the left hand gets melody again. So you have to practice on being able to play one hand louder than the other, but you can take advantage of it in the scale video, or in the scale when you practice the scale. Practice playing one hand louder than the other. Do the right hand and then do the left hand louder. Take turns. Now, third line down, second measure, look at this left hand. You have these fifths, because they're an interval of a fifth. They're tied. You're going to hold that down for 8 counts, because there's 2 whole notes tied together. So it's like forever almost. You're going to hold it down. And then at the end, the last couple measures, you're here. The left hand's going to come down and put the thumb on the A, and then 2 on the F. You got to come down. And then here. Remember I talked before about how to go from one note to a chord in a hand? I'm going to drop the wrist. I'm going to play on the F, and then I'm going to raise it up, and as I lower the wrist, the F comes up and the other fingers go down. So it's here. So the RIT, R-I-T period, is retardando. It means to gradually slow down. That would be the left hand, because the right hand isn't doing anything but holding a note down. So however fast I'm going, it doesn't tell you how fast to go. It's a famous melody. You've probably heard it. You get an idea how fast it should go. So if I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, then at the end, the last few measures, the last 3 measures, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I just slow the counting down, and I continue to slow it down all the way until the end of it. So that last measure has 2 counts in it. So it's like 1, 2, off. It sounds like I'm holding the last note down for more than 2 counts, but I'm not. I'm just slowing the count down. So it is. So, and the reason the last measure only has 2 beats in it, because it's a 4/4 time, every measure's got to have 4 counts. And it's because they split the measure and they put the last 2 beats of that measure at the beginning. You see the beginning only has 2 counts in it? So we're coming in on count 3. When I count us in, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 is the way this works. We're going to go really, really slow. Let's play it together, checking the notes and the rhythms. You can do the dynamics, but try and bring out the melody if you can. That takes a little practice. It'll come in time. You may not get it right away. You may go through maybe most or all of the book before you finally get the hang of it, but keep trying. It will come. Now, when I play with a metronome, I cannot retard, so I'm not going to retard at the end. We're just going to keep up with the metronome and keep going. You have a few hand movements going on in the left hand. I want to point them out. You have to plan for these things. We actually practice hand movements in piano playing if we have to, because the beat's got to keep going. You can't hesitate because you got to move someplace. You got to be aware of it and figure it out. So you're starting out in this position in the left hand, and the first couple lines you're fine, and then when you get to the third line, you're playing this for the first measure, then you have 2 beats of rest, and then you got to come down here. Well, while the right hand is playing here, you got to move the left hand. So you're 1, 2. So you're ready to go when you're there. Then at the end of the measure, or end of the line, you're not really moving, you're just moving your thumb up. So it's fine, and then the staccatos again as a wrist. I'm going to push down and bounce off. And then you get a 1 measure rest, and you got to move the hand again. So you're here, now you want to go here. So the last line is here, rest, and then during the rest you move up. So you work out the hand movements in the left hand. So it's all even, rhythmically even. So you're starting out, left hand's third finger on the G, so you're here. And the right hand's thumb on the C, so you're here. Okay. So I'm going to give us 2 counts because we come in on beat 3. I'm just going to go ready, go. There we go. Ready, go. 1, 2. 1, 2. 3, 4, tie, 2. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Rest. 1, 2. 2. 2. Rest. 2. 2. 2. 1, 2.